All right, Bobby. I think we're going to talk a little football, a little Tennessee football, because this is the year, right? Billy, you agree with that?
This is the year to get back to become a powerhouse, man. It's that time, man.
All right.
It's due time. Too long. It's due time, guys.
Well, let me ask you about the head man on the sideline first, Bobby, and then, of course, we'll get the thoughts of Billy on Jeremy Pruitt. Of course, he's known as a great recruiter. He's had his great strides that he's taken at other programs in the SEC on the recruiting front. And Butch Jones was a good recruiter. He brought in top 15 classes on a regular basis. Jeremy Pruitt seems to be the anti-Butch Jones. Butch Jones, the salesman. Jeremy Pruitt, sure, he'll talk to the media. He'll tell you what you need to know. He's very comfortable in front of the media, but that's not his deal. He's a nuts and bolts football coach. And what have you seen out of Jeremy Pruitt that gives you hope, Bobby?
Well, we had Bob Kessling on our show, which is the voice of the Vols,
Yep.
here about a month or so ago, and I've talked to some media people about Pruitt. They've all told me the same thing. He's hard to get an interview with because he's always working. They said I've had more than one person say, "Man, when you turn your back on Jeremy Pruitt, you got him an interview lined up. He's gone to the office working. He's okay in front of the media. He doesn't mind doing it, but his number one job is to get his football team ready." And I see so much of Nick Saban in him. He carries himself a lot the same way. No, he's not going to go around and be the Pope of Tennessee football and kiss babies. I think he's getting better at that. But his main thing is he's here to work. You know, this is his first head coaching gig. And most of you know he was defensive coordinator there at Alabama. So he's learned under some pretty impressive programs. And I'm excited. That he's our coach. I just want to win. Butch Coach Jones had some great recruiting classes, but he didn't do anything with them. I tell Billy all the time, I'm not into the recruiting and who all's announcing their top five. I want to see when they hit the field, then you're part of the family. But I just think that he's getting better, and we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. We're going to get back to the days when Billy and Sean Ellis and Al Wilson and all those guys were busting them up. I'm telling you.
Billy, your take on Jeremy Pruitt and his approach to Tennessee football.
Well, I mean, I think he's the right guy for the job right now. He is doing what Coach Fulmer was looking for in a hire, and a guy like that is creating that culture back at the University of Tennessee. That culture is that family atmosphere that every great college football program has. That's what makes them so successful. I always go back and tell people, look at Clemson, what Dabo turned around over there. Clemson wasn't always that powerhouse team that they had in that conference. They wasn't even a team that was on the edge of getting in. It was always like the Virginia Tech, the Miami, Florida State. Clemson was just almost kind of like, in a sense, the Vanderbilt of that conference. But, Dabo came in and gave that same culture that Coach Fulmer had when I was there. He made sure that, the players are taken care of, that doing the things right by, taking care of each other, not just going out there and recruiting any kid. He's bringing the right kids that's going to fit his system and that's going to be able to play together, that's going to be able to live together, that's going to just be brothers, and just come out and be great. And I think Jeremy understands that because, he's been through that all his life as molding kids, becoming young men. And I think he's done that since he's been at Tennessee. And just like Bobby said, he wants to be a football coach. He's trying to be that head coach, and the only way he knows how to do it is kind of like, what he saw at Alabama. You kind of have that same sense where, he's just up there doing his interviews, kind of like Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here because I got to be, and he's not wanting to kiss the babies like Bobby said, but he has to do that because that's his job. We got to have something that, the fans love about him. It can't always be a robot and just like, I'm just here because I have to be. But he's going to be a good coach. We got to give him a little time. It's going to take time for these recruits to start coming in. And, we got a lot of kids. They're saying they're coming, but I'm not a fan of, commitments. I mean, a hear the LOI, that's the letter of intent. So I'm just different when it comes to that stuff. So I think we're going to be okay with Pruitt over there.
Hey, Billy, you know the real deal when you see it. You've been in a national championship locker room. You know what it takes to win over a team, to get them to buy in, to have them galvanized and ready to run through a wall for a cause, for each other, for the brotherhood, and to have the leader that they can trust. So when you have an evaluation of a coach, it's different than when Bobby and I have an evaluation of a coach to a certain extent in regards to just maybe you looking for some different ingredients there that you can almost place yourself back in the locker room to say, hey, would I follow this guy? Does this guy show me something that makes me believe that he really cares about me and my development as a player, as a student, as a man? Do you see that out of Jeremy Pruitt?
Well, I do see that because, he's giving kids that, you would have thought got the opportunities to play at a high level that they're doing. You're talking about him trusting into 2 freshman cornerbacks to play in the SEC last year. That is unheard of in this conference. When you give kids that type of confidence, that's when you have what I always tell people: every kid in the world needs to play for it, and that's a player's coach. A player's coach is somebody that can adapt to any situation, any kid, no matter where they're from, no matter if they love country, rock and roll, rap, or R&B. He adapts to every situation, no matter what it is. And Pruitt, I think he is built enough coaches around him to create that atmosphere. Well, it was just like what I had over there. They still haven't found that what I call that leader like we had with Al Wilson, Peyton Manning, guys like that. They haven't had anybody like that. And I was hoping that Trey Smith will progress and get healthy, even if he's not healthy. He can become that leader off the field. I had to do that myself. My senior year, when I got hurt. I had to do something just to keep my teammates inspired. And that's something that coaches they teach you those things. It's something that you either have it or don't, but the coaches find a way to bring it out of you, and that's what Pruitt is doing over there.
Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, breaking down the Vols with Billy Ratliff and, of course, Bobby from Volunteer Roadshow, talking up Tennessee football as Tennessee gets set for the 2019 season. And we're taking us through fall camp and the closing days to get us set. And one comfort is that this team is established at the quarterback position with Jared Garantano. Protected the football last year. Tom Brady's not throwing touchdown passes from his back, so he's going to need a little bit better protection. He was running for his life much of 2018, but did a fine job protecting the football. You got Jim Chaney in place as an offensive coordinator and his track record most recently at Georgia. So, Bobby, your thoughts about Garantano and the offensive approach?
Well, I'm really excited about Jim Chaney. I've watched some of his practices on YouTube. He's really conducting really good practices. I think he's going to bring some creativity and a culture that we haven't had at Tennessee for a while. But, I'm actually not as concerned about the offensive line as I was last year. We got 2 5-star recruits, and I guarantee you they're going to be seeing some playing time early, maybe even starting with Darnell Wright and Wanye, 2 5-stars, and like Billy said, Trey Smith, whether he comes back or not, he's going to be a leader. But if he can make it back to the field, man, he's a big youngin'. I saw a clip of him in practice. I don't know if they still call it Lover's Lane, Billy, like back when you played, but man, he took that defensive guy and slammed him and pancaked him. And I'm just excited. And Billy probably can add to this. It's the defensive line that we're concerned about, because Billy can probably tell you a little bit more why that defensive line is always a little harder to coach up than the offensive line.
Oh, most definitely, Bobby. Man, defensive line is typically I think it's the harder position on the field. You guys got to guess what's going on. The offensive line, they know the play. People think all defensive guys do is just run around and hit people. No, they got to be able to react to what people already know. You got, as a defensive lineman with me as defensive tackle, I had to push 700 pounds every single play. That's not easy. And I don't know if we have those guys over there yet. But I do know that the strength and conditioning coaches have got these guys a lot bigger, a lot stronger. I'm not sure if they're quite there yet was the defensive line. The issue that I've always had with our D-line has always been depth. We've always had a lot of injured guys over there. It kind of reminded me of myself when I played there, but we always had so many guys behind me that could replace these guys with the depth, and that's something that the Vols has struggled with for the past few years is depth. So if we can figure out a way to get that depth on the defensive line, I think we'll be able to compete.
That's an interesting take on it, Billy, because I'm a guy that didn't even come anywhere close to your level of play just through high school. And it was always my thought, and still continues to be, that the offensive line's the difficult one to assemble, because especially in a league like the SEC, to assemble 5 really good players that are capable and competent, that work together, that have it all orchestrated together, have to have the football acumen in regards, and also just the toughness to play offensive line, and then probably have always 2 guys that can rotate. So you need about 7 to face that kind of speed off the edge that, especially that we have in this conference, is quite the daunting task. So it seems like everybody struggles along the offensive line to come up with 5 to 7 that can really play. But you're feeling decent about the offensive line, and you mentioned the 2 5-stars in Morrison Smith, and then obviously, Trey Smith's been in the fold for quite some time. Darnell Wright, the 5-star from this recruiting class. But on the defensive side, you got a JUCO and Savion Williams, who's going to be counted upon possibly, and Emmett Gooden's coming back. But otherwise, it's pretty thin up there. In regards to units that could really stand out on this team, to me, Bobby, it's wide receiver. Jawan Jennings has proven himself. Marquez Callaway, those guys have made big plays in big games against good opponents in the SEC Eastern Division. And the secondary could be really special. You got a freshman All-American who's coming back there in Bryce Thompson.
Absolutely. I'm really excited that if Garantano can have the confidence where he's not feeling like he's going to get motor graded on every play, and he can really do his check downs and not just go to the first read, and have the time and the confidence to deliver the ball. We've got some big wide receivers in Callaway and Jennings, and I just think that that's going to be very special. And then when you have that coming off of the running backs that we've got with Ty Chandler, Tim Jordan, and this special freshman Eric Gray, that's gonna balance out that offense. I'm telling you, you're gonna have the run to set up the pass to set up the run. I think those 2 things with a better offensive line, I'm excited about our offense this year. I think you're gonna see, Mark, Garantano, when he has enough time, I really think he's going to end up at the end of the season the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the conference. Mark my words on that.
What do you think about that, Billy, in terms of Garantano, the wide receivers working together and putting up some big numbers?
Well, I'll tell you this here. Like I keep saying, it all starts with coaching. The receiver have a really good coach over there with T. Martin, who's my ex-teammate, and speaks for himself when he was out at USC with some of the caliber kids that he has in the NFL right now that are catching balls. He knows how to motivate those kids and get the best out of them. And we got some good kids over there. We just didn't have enough time to get those kids the ball. With Callaway and James, those are, to me, they have became what I think are 5-star receivers. And now that Garantano has a offensive coordinator, a quarterback coach that can actually teach how to become a real quarterback, that's something that he haven't had in the past. Is someone that can teach him and groom him and say, if you don't have that, you don't have this, you just get rid of the ball or anything like that. Don't just take the sack. Use your legs before it's too late. There's always those things that can make him better. And like Bobby said, I think he will be a top 3 in this league this year, because there's some great quarterbacks in this league. But I really think with Coach Chaney coming over has helped him out tremendously, especially with this offensive line has gotten a little bit better with some of the guys coming back. And I still say, it all going to start off with Trey Smith. If he's healthy, that's going to be great. Even if he's not healthy, if he can just be that leader, this team could go to be something to reckon with. I don't think they're going to be as bad as everybody thinks they're going to be.
And you've got a nice stable of running backs headed up, of course, by Ty Chandler. But this Tim Jordan had a nice game, 100-plus against West Virginia last year. And people are high on Eric Gray as well. So the running game, again, if you get the big horses up front to create some space, the running game should take some pressure off Garantano, and a team that really struggled to score points last year could suddenly be explosive because you definitely have the track record at the wideout position.
Absolutely. Like I said, I'm excited about what our running backs will help, how they'll help with our passing game. And Ty Chandler, he's got. I think he's the NFL doesn't value the running back position like they used to, but he's going to be one of the top running backs in the maybe not in the country, but definitely in the SEC. People are going to hear that name, even if you're not a Tennessee fan, and know who Ty Chandler is. And I think Tim Jordan from down in Polk County, Florida, Bartow, a lot of great running backs have come out of Florida, and he's just another one. And this Eric Gray, everybody's talking about Eric Gray. I haven't seen him play in practice or the spring game, but everybody I talked to said, man, watch out for this kid, Eric Gray.